I'm a basketball fan, innit? So at least they're hooping. Is what it is. You know what I mean? A little bit of basketball. I'm good.
Do you not think it's a random just thing to change?
Would you rather than be bowling?
Innit? Exactly.
I'd rather just be sitting down like they're on the manga because you know what it is. Them playing basketball, it didn't really add anything to that scene, in my opinion.
I think it just emphasised their students, that type of.
I mean, we know they're students though. They've been in the classroom, innit?
You know what I would have thought would have worked better, right? If they were playing ping pong, right? Though that is because like you can like proper like hit the ball back and forth when they're talking, innit? And you can emphasize the back and forth bit because they was getting up to like, okay, we're gonna have a fight, and you could like have more aggression in the hits.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think we could have left the sports out of it, to be honest. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Panel and Frames Anime Podcast. You know, we've obviously ended the spring season. We had some really good shows. We ended like Vinland Saga's done now. I think that lasted winter and spring, didn't it? And,
yeah, disappointing it's finished though.
Yeah, exactly. And but now we've got some good ones, some really good ones. It's
Stuff we've been looking forward to
Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, which is finally here. I think when did like season 1 come out? Like almost 2 years ago now, isn't it?
It feels like it's been longer than that, but
it's been a while, man. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna look at obviously Jujutsu Kaisen, which it's gonna be 23 episodes. It's gonna cover the hidden inventory arc. There's a little arc after that, and I don't know how much of the Shibuya arc is gonna cover, but it's gonna cover a lot of that.
Ooh, okay,
that'd be good.
So we're getting a lot of action, and this hidden inventory arc is like what 7 chapters. It's not even that long, man.
Yeah, it's pretty short.
So yeah, we have that, and finally we get to chat about Bleach after all the references for the other the other podcasts. But
finally,
let's get started then on Jujutsu Kaisen. Hidden Inventory 1. So this episode is basically episode 14 overall in the overall arc of Jujutsu Kaisen, episode 1 of season 2. So basically we start with Mei and Yutahime. Actually, let's give a bit of context to what this arc is basically. So it's a flashback of kind of like all the teachers, like Gojo,
when they were at school.
Exactly. And basically most people probably read this by now, so it's not really spoilers. Because do you guys know what happens in the? You remember, or you haven't read it?
Right, we read it.
Yeah, please. We've got a whole podcast about it.
But that's like up to date. That's not like.
But still though, fam.
Yeah, bro.
All right, cool. But so obviously the arc is about them protecting Tengen's new vessel.
Yep.
From obviously Toji, who is Gummy's dad, and it's just about them when they're teenagers, and we also see how Geto becomes a villain as well. So there's a lot of things that happen in this in this arc. But what's really interesting is Mappa have done quite a few things, especially in this episode. So in this episode, they've done quite a few differences from the manga. Obviously. Well, so the opening scene where we have that big monologue from Geto where he's talking about exercising cursed spirits and what it tastes like. It's not in the manga.
Oh yeah, okay.
But that's pretty cool. I did enjoy that kind of like adds a bit of tone to the episode and a bit of tone to I guess a bit of foreshadowing to what's gonna happen.
I think so. Yeah.
Starting with him as the main character. You know what I mean? Like, did you enjoy that scene?
I think so. It definitely foreshadows, like you could see him getting darker as it goes on because of that.
Yeah.
And it's a good contrast to see him all like him and Gojo all like, oh, we're boys, isn't it? Kind of thing. So this episode adapts chapters 65 and 66.
That's it.
Yeah, only 2 chapters. But you know what? You know what's interesting, and this is going to be a throwback to Tokyo Revengers bowling arc. So there's obviously we start in this mansion that's been possessed by a cursed spirit, and you got Utahime and Mei, who are obviously they're not well. Utahime works in a jujutsu high school now, but Mei is like a bit of a mercenary, isn't she? She just does stuff for money, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we start with this scene where they're in the house looking to exercise the spirit. But what's interesting is that there's a lot of extra dialogue, like so many. It's like 3 pages in the manga. That whole scene.
You know what, right? When I was watching it, it felt long. Like that bit just felt like it dragged on for ages. And
they added so much extra meat to it, and I kind of think it's good because it kind of, I guess, shows a bit of character development from Gojo and from Geto. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be a lot of them in this arc. So I guess giving these people a bit of spotlight is quite interesting. Like Lewis, I don't know, what do you think about like that kind of extra compared to the manga?
I thought it was fine. It kind of emphasized the whole being trapped in that hotel bit and like character development. But I feel like that hotel bit reminds me very much of like Chainsaw Man when they're trapped in that place.
In the aquarium.
Yeah. But the 3D and the 2D for me is amazing.
It was a bit for you. It was amazing for you. I feel like it was a bit shaky at times. Like parts of it looked a bit crap, but
I think it worked really well, man. Because the 3D wasn't too overbearing or too. Sometimes it's a bit weirdly done, where it's like
that's how I feel. Like at some points, it wasn't long. It wasn't long. I'm being picky, but it wasn't long. Maybe like a couple seconds here and there. I'm like, it looks a quick crap, but
it wasn't Berserk bad. Berserk when they did that. Yeah,
I haven't seen Berserk. I've seen clips of it. I haven't like watched it, but
Berserk is a great anime.
I know about it.
The 3D bit is a bit. Some of the 2D bits you'll be like, I don't know, man.
Okay.
But, it's not good.
I hear it.
But so that was a great scene. I added like all the extra bits. There's some really nice shots there. Like when it has the window and they're just them walking constantly and it's just like, kind of zoomed in. I thought that was a fantastic shot when they're just talking. Because obviously it adds to the whole. They're trapped in a maze. I thought that was cool. And then obviously we get introduced to a lot of the cast for this arc. Gojo, the girl with the cigarette, I forgot her name, who's a doctor in the future. Geto. So yeah.
And that Mimi. I swear that's Mimi.
No, Mimi is
no. That's not. Yeah, someone else.
I think her name's Shoko, isn't it? Yeah. So we get introduced to them at this mansion. But now we get into the bit where we find out about what the mission is. They gotta protect the Star Vessel. But what's interesting? So the bit when Gojo and Geto are arguing about like, you want to go outside?
Yeah.
They're playing basketball in the anime.
Yeah.
There's no basketball. There's just them two. They're all just sitting down. They're just.
Hey man, I'm a basketball fan, so at least they're hooping. Is what it is. You know what I mean? A little bit of basketball. I'm good.
Do you not think it's a random just thing to change?
Would you rather them be bowling?
In it? Exactly.
I'd rather just be sitting down like they're on the manga because what it is. Them playing basketball. It didn't really add anything to that scene, in my opinion.
I think it just emphasized their students, that type of,
I mean, we know they're students though. They've been in the classroom, innit?
You know what I would have thought would have worked better, right? If they were playing ping pong, right? That is because like you can like proper like hit the ball back and forth when they're talking in it, and you can emphasize the back and forth of it because they was getting up to like, okay, we're gonna have a fight, and then you could like have more aggression in the hits.
Yeah, yeah. I mean. I think we could have just left the sports out of it, to be honest. I get what you're saying. I think it would have been interesting with the ping pong going back and forth, and then we see but I don't know, man. That was literally a two page scene that they're just sitting down and talking. And it's been turned into this big whole, basketball. Them trying to do layups and 3-pointers.
It looked right. I've seen worse. I've seen worse basketball either way. But hey, it looked pretty decent. But moving on though.
What also was quite funny, and I thought it was hilarious. Like in Jujutsu Kaisen, they like when they explain stuff is very, very like detailed. There's a lot to take in when explaining like techniques, those things.
Yeah.
When they're explaining like why Tengen needs to do this vessel every 500 years because of his curse technique, blah blah blah, and then Gojo goes, "Oh yeah, it's like the
Digimon thing, isn't it? No?
Yeah. And I think that's funny because it kind of relates to the year of the show. So it's set obviously. I think 2006 is it set in 2006. I think it's earlier than that. So it kind of showed the time we're in, the reference is relative to the time we're in, and it's just a bit funny to be like, I felt like mocking his own kind of style, you know what I mean? So that was quite.
This is random. How old is the creator of Jujutsu Kaisen?
I don't know.
Because there is obviously it makes sense to have that nod to Digimon and stuff, because so that's where the time period of where stuff is going on. But if the creator is like grew up watching it, it would make even more sense. You know what I mean? Or like it was a show that they was watching when they was younger. But anyway, either way.
To be honest, 100%. It probably 100%. He could because even like the creator of like Attack on Titan, he's only like in I think early 20s, no, late 20s actually. He's not even he's not even that old. So I think a lot of these new manga authors, they're not even cool. I think when we think about manga authors, we do think about like 40-year-old men, don't we? Like,
Yeah, I do
you
too.
know what I mean? Because like
They're old.
But I think we have to accept that they possibly are quite could be in their 30s or like even 30, even
Exactly. That's what asked the question.
So he was born in February 26th, 1992.
Oh, okay.
Oh damn, he's younger than me.
Yeah.
Younger than you, Lewis. Oh wow.
Don't throw me under the bus as well.
But whatever, man. This is he's younger than us, man. What can we do? Like Phil,
younger than you, man. Younger than you. He's older than me, but I'm 94 out here. Fuck out of here, bro.
Wow.
Phil, don't put me in that shit.
No, I'm 96, man. So he's older than me as well.
But this definitely was a good episode. I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked even though in ways people might say is a little bit of a slower episode. Obviously, it's the first episode, but in contrast to the first episode of season 1, it was like really, really up there in terms of like energy and stuff. Like this episode was like I want to say the polar opposite of that, but it still gave you a lot. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
really enjoyed it.
What were you, Lewis?
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the 3D, even though not everyone enjoyed the 3D. But...
I'll take it. I'll be the hater. I don't mind being the hater.
And like you said, Eugene, with the window, I thought that was a good interpretation of how to tell that environment well without it kind of being any longer. It was like an artistic way of doing it.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how the studio, like, I know they're known for like adapting stuff their own way every now and then. So interesting to see how they do it, because even there was a scene, when Geto goes to the Rico's apartment and everything explodes and he's in the flat.
Yeah, that bit was really good.
Yeah, so in the manga, he's not, no one's in the flat. She just explodes and then she falls out, and then I know it's like really nitpicking little differences.
No, it's cool,
but it's just interesting. I'm just gonna find it. Are they gonna do it just like 1 or 2 episodes and then just kind of like follow word for word? Or are they going to like try and interpret it as much as they can to kind of like prolong it? You know what I mean? Because they got 23 episodes. What I don't want is like we get 23 episodes and then we don't get the full Shibuya arc. I mean, we probably won't get all of it, but I don't want them to be like doing their own thing too. You know what I mean? I
swear there's parts in the Shibuya arc where it could end really, really well anyway. So it shouldn't be a problem. I think there's some good cliffhangers there, mate.
For 2 years, it better not be like a year, 2 years. I don't know.
But we'll see in it. They might do a Bleach. They might do a Bleach and come out in like 7 months, 9 months.
If they do that, that'll be calm though. I'll literally that'll be calm in it. But I think it's gonna be a couple of years before. Well, not a couple of years. Probably next summer.
How long was season 1? How many episodes was season
1? Season 1 was 24 episodes.
Really?
Yeah. Season 1's pretty long.
Okay. Actually, not a question then, though, right? Because we saw the film as well, right? How do you guys feel about this arc that's coming up? That's going to be in season 2. How do you feel like that follows on from the movie? Because it's all meant to just flow from like, if you know what I mean.
No, I think
that's what it feels like to me anyway. Because the movie was a flashback. This is the flashback to certain time.
Like it wasn't a flashback within the actual story. It was just this one shot, wasn't it? Because it was just Jujutsu Kaisen 0. So I don't think I don't think it's actually in the, because this is actually chapters within the manga. So after obviously they fight against Choso and his brothers, then I think then they just introduce these like kind of 7 chapters before the Shibuya arc starts. But I'm sure the film was just a standalone. It was a standalone one shot that was by itself.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Maybe I'm interpreting it differently.
Yeah, I think that's why it was a film rather than being within the show. If you know what I mean? Because even like with the Mugen arc, with the Mugen Train arc, even though they did it as a film, they redid it as the show because it is within the the show. Like with Dragon Ball Super, even though it's a film, sadly they're redoing it within the manga again. You know what I mean? Sadly.
It's very sad.
Oh, badly at that as well. But anyway, that's not the topic of today's video.
But yeah, guys, obviously, a fantastic episode. Animation was like, I know, obviously, Phil, you didn't like the 3D, 2D.
It was a small piece. It's a small
Yeah.
piece. Like, if I'm knocking at points, I'm knocking at like point two. It's not crazy, but it's like, you know what, it's there, so you got to point it out. Nothing's It's not perfect. If it was perfect, I'll give it a perfect score.
What did you think about the bit with the, when the knives got thrown as Gojo and all the knives were like 3D? Did you care for
To be
that?
honest, I didn't. I thought that was fine. That looked cool to me.
Okay.
That looked cool to me. It wasn't even that. All right, now let me think. It was the scene where someone was walk. No, they were. Oh, what is it, man? The girl was walking in the house,
Hmm.
right? And she was the one that was bare scared of everything, right? I think she was walking on some wood or something like that, and she was opening the room, and she saw the rats under the bed, right? There was some 3D stuff there. I was like, oh, that looks crap. That's what I'm talking about. That's the only part that messed me up. I'm like, okay, it's what it is.
I didn't even, to be fair, I didn't think it looked. Well, everyone's had their opinions. I don't think it looked that
To
bad.
be fair, Phil is a critique when it comes to the art because he knocked down Vinland Saga a little bit because that's some shit.
No,
Hey, bro, I'm saying, bro. If
A
it's
10
there,
out
if
of
it
10.
happens, it's like a 9.8, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you had a couple faults.
The start of Vinland did have some dodgy animation, but I think the rest of it was just too superb to not. You just forgot about that. You know what I mean? In my opinion.
Anyway,
But all right. So what
I'll
score
be
did
the
you?
hater. I don't mind being the hater on this show, bro.
No,
I'll be the
there's
hater. I don't
there's
mind
no
being the
hater.
hater.
Everyone's got an opinion. This is a safe place to say what you like and don't like.
All right, cool. I feel safe here.
Eugene's a diplomat.
What
It reminds
score,
me of very diplomatic about the thing,
no,
bro.
I'm just saying, man. But what's your scores, guys? What's your scores this week for Jujutsu Kaisen?
I'm going last. Go on.
Lewis?
I'm going to give it an 8 because I thought it was a good start and
Mm.
I enjoyed the animation.
Fantastic. I would give it 8.5 because it was, the animation was, I thought animation was like pretty fantastic. It doesn't get like a 9 or higher because I do think some of like the basketball scene, some stuff like don't really need it in it. You know what I mean? It just didn't do nothing to the episode. But you know what I mean? It just didn't do anything. Why are we having like Gojo doing layups? What's that about? You know what I mean?
Oh, sheesh.
Jeez, like
No,
I'm
go
saying,
on, finish.
I'm just saying that with the start where we had like Mei and Utahimi and that scene with the house that was extended, like that added a bit more to the episode. You know what I mean? But this
Yeah.
basketball scene, Gojo just like, yeah, I can do 3-pointers. I've got curse technique. Well done, bro. Cool, man. All right, we know you're the man in it. Cool, but it just added nothing. I don't know why. Anyway. But yeah, go on, Phil.
I'd give it a 7.
Whoa.
I'd give it a 7. It's not that it's bad. It's not that it's bad. It's just average for what Jujutsu Kaisen is. Yeah, give it a 7 because, like, yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen. We already know the story, right? Because we've read the manga, right?
Mhm.
And I feel like they're interpreting the story well, right? But
Are they?
going on the previous season, I feel like, you know what? It gave me more hype. Like, this one didn't give me the hype to say, okay, yeah, I'm ready to watch episode 2 when episode 2 comes out. It's like, okay, this was good. I'll watch episode 2 when it comes out. I'm not in like, oh yeah, waiting for it, fiending for it. So yeah, it was 7.
But do you think, that's because with season 1 we didn't know what we were going to be getting, like in terms of animation wise, and we got like blown away, and now because you have an expectancy of what?
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, I'll definitely say that.
Okay, that's fair. All right. It's good for it to be back. Let's hope it keeps up the same kind of like levels. Let's hope Phil's impressed next week by episode 2. Don't want to.
We know what's gonna happen. So if they do it right, the scores will be higher, innit? So what the hell?
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
We want the interpretation to be as close as possible to the original source material in it. But let's see in it. All right, guys. Well, let's go on to Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War Part 2.
Yeah.
So what's funny about this episode? So in the grand scheme of things, this is actually episode 380 in the entire of Bleach, episode 14 in the 1,000-Year Blood War, and episode 1 in season 2, in part 2 of the 1,000-Year Blood War. So 3 episodes for this one episode. Three episode numbers with 1 episode, and it adapts. What's funny? So it adapts actually 4 chapters, 543 all the way to 546. And one thing about this episode, like I think it was it was its own thing because it was in terms of like if you read the manga and watch it at the same time, yeah, kind of thing, yeah. It feels
Mhm.
like a mess because there were so
Mm.
many things in different chapters put in different orders.
Oh, sorry.
So there were a lot of things that were just in random places, and
Mhm.
the studio added a bit of extra scene that's not even in the manga. You know, Ichigo doing that test thing.
Yeah, that's not there. And I swear the chat between Basby and him going off on the other stern raters ain't in there neither. I
that's
swear
in
that's
there.
not
You
there.
know, it's in there. It's in
That's
there.
in there, really?
It's in there. It's in there. But they missed out the bit where when obviously the king announces Ishtar as his successor.
Successor.
Yeah, and then obviously Basby he runs to the king to be like, oh no, you can't do that. That scene was taken out. I don't know why.
Okay, okay,
But
okay.
but sorry, but yeah, no, the rest of it was all in it. But it was just like there were a lot of scenes that were jumbled up from different
But
chapters.
it did feel like that, even from coming from someone that's not read it. It did feel like that. It was kind of like a setup episode. So
Yeah, it was
just
very
Right,
letting
different
you
random
know
stuff.
didn't
what
it?
it was kind of like. If you had watched the first season, it's kind of going, okay, that's what's been happening after you forged the swords and whatnot. It's like a kind of setup.
But
That's
it's
what it
even
felt
like you know the scene where he's got the swords and he's on that kind of like the table where he had swords.
Mm.
That scene actually comes like chapters later on, like maybe
Mhm.
like 3 chapters later on. So they
Wait,
even like
when he's with Ichibe?
yeah, so that
Okay.
scene's actually a bit later on because actually the only time you see Ichibe is when he talks to Rukia and Renji in
Mhm.
this whole last 9 days kind of scenario.
Mhm.
And yeah, it worked. Don't get me wrong, it worked and it flowed really well. It wasn't jarring, but just like I don't know, I kind of want them to just you can
Keep
have fun
it.
with it, but keep
Yeah,
it.
but is
Mm.
the manga is terrific. So if they just kept it the same, would have been even better. Question though, Eugene, of course you're talking about it. The
Mm,
the start when they
mm,
were showing Yuhabak, right, when he was younger,
mm.
right? Isn't that further along as well, or no?
Yeah, so there is a flashback where you learn about. So when he goes to
His
the
backstory.
yeah, yes, that's what that is. When they go to
That's
the
what I
city.
thought.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I thought. That's what I
That's
thought. I was
way
gonna
later
say
on.
that's a bit too soon, but just a sign that I noticed. I was wanting to ask you about that.
Well, there is a lot of, like even when he's like announcing Ishtar as his successor, those
Hmm.
four, his four Stereotons, the four the main
Yeah,
dons.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
obviously we don't find out they're the main guys until way later on.
yeah.
And I feel like because they're not on the stage in the manga at that point, so you don't know that
Hmm.
they're the main guys. It's only
Hmm.
what's his name, the other how pronounce his name?
Hash rod,
Yeah,
hash
Hashirama.
rod, hash rod.
Only he's on stage with the king, and
Yeah.
but in this year, it's obviously it's not a spoiler because it's been like if you haven't read the manga after 10 years, then that's your beef in it.
Well, Lewis is here, and we can't mess up Lewis's
I'm
experience.
not,
Come on,
no,
dude.
no, but I'm not saying up Lewis, but I'm just saying you've seen the episode, and obviously, okay,
Mm.
Lewis, when you saw the episode and you saw those four guys on the stage, doesn't that kind of say to you like those are like the four main kind of like?
Yeah. The fact that they were there for that announcement must mean
Mhm.
they're important.
Well, would you have waited for the reveal that they're the four main Donnies later on?
No, I'm fine with it. All right.
But he don't
Alright.
know though. But he don't know. Like at Eugene, right?
Mm,
It's already happened. We've already found out that
mm,
that Uryu is basically betrayed the Mandem. Yeah, we've already found that out,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But someone like Lewis that has maybe like really invested in. I'm not saying that Lewis is really invested, but maybe someone that like properly invested in Bleach, right? They put out screenshots and like cover art of Uryu with the Sternritter time ago. So this kind of been spoiled ages ago as well.
No. I know. It's just more. This is more the guys on the stage, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
But also in Hua Commando, in the shadows, I think they revealed too much. Just they need to chill out, man. The cloaked figure. If you pause it and stare at that person, you can see who it is straight away. You
Wait,
know,
wait, wait. Say that again. Where?
you know in Hua Commando where Inoue and Chada,
Yeah.
and they're with
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
you
I know who it is.
pause and look at that figure, you can see who it
Yeah,
is.
they made it bait. They made it bait.
But then in the manga, you didn't even know anything.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I actually preferred it to do like that because when that reveal happens, you're like,
Is
oh,
is sick.
this
Is
is
a
what I
sick
mean.
reveal.
It's a sick
So
reveal. So I'm not going to spoil it for you, Lewis, at all. But don't go and pause it, Lewis, and look.
I'm just going back now.
See,
to have a look.
see now I'm clocking it. This is gonna be a really like weird, not necessarily weird. It's gonna be a really different experience for me and Eugene for it is for Lewis because we're like we know like the shit like Lewis's experience isn't new, and he hasn't read the manga. So it's like yo, these things here that we're talking about is like, damn, they're messing it up because it can be so good.
Well, this is it. I mean, but Lewis, okay, from outsider, I know you've heard us talking about this stuff yet, but when you initially watched it, what was like your reaction? Did you love it or you know?
No, because I really enjoyed the first season of this new Thousand Year Blood arc, and I was just excited to carry that on. So what I've seen so far is just a continuation from that. Just from that, for me, I'm sold for this whole thing from that big fight with the old guy.
Swear down, Captain Yama.
I watched that again the other day. I had to show my girlfriend that. I was like, "Look, you don't understand."
It's so good. It's so good. So I just feel like I don't think I can be wronged because I've been already given the best. So I feel like
did you say that you actually went back to watch the old Bleach or no?
I'm on season 6, so I've got a long way to go.
What's going on?
It was a while when I started.
Isn't it? It's a filler, isn't it? Isn't it a filler?
That's far, fam. I saw it season 6.
There's like 12 seasons or 14.
Yes, are they still? Wait.
It was
Have
when
they fought the Arancars yet?
Yeah, that's the yeah.
You know what I find mad about that whole Anranko arc? Yeah, they stop it and have this big filler arc. Whereas that you know, the swords come out of the swords. You know when the swords get released out of the spirits get released out of the sword.
Yeah.
They have that for like a year or so for no reason, and then they go back to the Anranko arc, and I'm just like, nah.
I've got that thing you sent me where it tells you what to skip.
Definitely use it.
Because the animation is not even good. It's like it's trash.
It's a waste of time as well, man.
And they add nothing to the story. There's like, what's that one? So in that when the souls come up, the swords, what's it when Yamamoto's sword comes out? Yeah, you don't. He's in a cloak. You don't even see him, and then
you don't even see it. Never see it. Don't like right. Let's let me be honest about it. Right, that part, we might think is useless for the story of Bleach. The only good thing about it is that it makes sense for a movie that comes out because there's a movie about that. Remember,
there?
There is. There's a movie about it where the spirits come out of the swords, they get taken out, and then something else happens. I can't remember the name of the film, but there's a film that basically does that exact same thing.
I'm staring at the films right now, so there's obviously.
Am I staring at the films right now? Yeah, there's a film about it, dude.
There's 4 films. There's no film about Fade to Black. Is it Fade to Black?
There's a film. It might be, but there's a film about it. I swear there is.
I don't know, man. Darren Dust Rebellion is the one with Hitsugaya as the main character. Fade to Black is one where Rukia gets erased. They forget who she is, isn't it? And there's two other Soul Reapers. Hell versus when they go to Hell. And
see, I think that's the one I'm talking about because they go to Hell and you see them in there in Hell.
Nah, bro.
I swear you see him in there in Hell. No, am I messing up?
No.
I'm messing up. Damn, I'm messing up. I take the L.
Yeah, yes. The disclaimer. Feel messed up, guys. I'm joking. I'm joking. But yeah, no. I think go back and watch it, Lewis, because honestly, you haven't seen the fight between
which fight, bro? Which fight?
Ichigo.
Ulquiorra and Ichigo.
Have you seen that?
I don't know.
Okay.
So season 6, he fights Shinji.
Oh, you've got bare long left.
What? Shinji? He hasn't got the mask yet.
He's like
training,
yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my, he's got bare long. Oh my day, it's got so long. Lewis.
Oh, but you know what? It's fine. Just watch the 1,000 Year Blood. Like, just watch it. It's fine. I don't know, man. I kind of want you to go back and read it all, but
he has to just to even like. Obviously, I'm not saying you can't do it now to catch up, but if you do it in tandem, man, do it in tandem. Or when this is done, go back and just watch it because it's great stuff.
I think you should go back and read it all, man, or watch it because the reason you can do it quite quickly. But remember, I think there's like 700 chapters in there.
episodes.
No,
Just watch
chapters.
it. There's no point reading it, bro.
Yeah,
Just
no,
watch.
I watch
Watch
it.
the thing.
Well, you can watch it. I mean, it's old, isn't it? The animation's not the animation's never good for that Bleach. You know what I mean? Like some of the characters, the glow up they have in this new in the anime. Oh
Yeah, it
my
is.
god, they look 10 times better, man.
Uh-huh.
So you haven't even seen the Fullbringers, have you? Anyway, I'm not going to
No,
spoil
he
it.
ain't. He ain't seen the Fullbringers. He ain't seen Kenpachi do a madness. There's bits in the previous thing, in the previous the first bit of Bleach where like Kenpachi like has a lot of character development. Anyway, that's basically the point of why I would like you to go back and actually like watch the media because it's really good. This guy, bro.
I will try.
Yeah.
I'll give my progress.
Yeah.
Next
Oh,
time
yeah,
we
let
go
us
on,
know.
hopefully I'm deeper in it.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's
But yeah.
definitely worth going back and reading. But in terms of today's episode, like overall, were you guys pleased for it to be back and like just because the level like, animation is 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You know when the Quincy's invade, I just love the coloring of the way they've done it. The sky's red and
Yeah.
who do you think's gonna fight who, Lewis?
I don't know.
Who do you want to fight? Who do you want who to fight? Like now, because the fight's going to start basically straight away. So who do you want to fight?
Yeah, basically the fight's gonna start straight away. So let's just say that. There's some good ones.
Good ones, bloody hell.
There's some good ones, and I swear there's gonna be some new ones too. So
I think there's a couple new ones, but there's one like
yo,
Renji,
they showed Thingy's gonna use his Bankai.
with Shinji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They showed that.
Yeah,
They showed he's gonna use his
we don't know. We've never seen his bank card before. I want to know who he's going to do it against.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who. But anyway,
there's one character I think he's going to do it against. Because one character didn't reveal their return letter, what it meant. So watch two of them. But yeah, Lewis. So what? You're in an ideal world. What's your dream battle that you want to see happening next?
Well, I want to see Ichigo versus Yuru, isn't it? The new heir.
Oh, now you want to see that now?
I just want to get to the point. That's
okay.
You just said dream. You said dream fight. I'm not going to say.
Let him answer the question, bruv. Let him answer the question.
Yeah,
Let him answer the question. Go ahead.
The next episode, what dream fight?
You said to me, dream fight.
Yeah, exactly. Let him answer the question. This man is trying to make an answer how he wants to answer. Go on, Lewis.
I'm not. Go on.
So Uryu versus Ichigo.
In the next episode, nah, mate.
So what? Continue.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, why not? Why not?
So you want to? There's next episode straight away. You want that fight now?
Yeah.
So what?
That's the main event,
and then the rest of the episodes, everyone's just going, just like, well.
Don't. You know what? Oh my God.
Actually, you know what, right? Since we're talking about Uryu, yeah. I was when I first I can't even get the words out, right? When I first read it in the manga, right, I was really surprised that he got A.
Why? What will he get? If he's gonna replace the king, he'll get A.
Yeah, but I was just surprised that he got A, that he actually got A. Yeah, and A is mad. But anyway, that's what I should say that.
He's a successor. He can't get, J, can he? Or
maybe like he could have maybe like adjusted it and then he'll get A in it. Like the king still needs you know what I mean? Like is the king still?
When you find out what the king's A stands for, Lewis. When you find out what the A stands for, Lewis, you're going to be. This is probably the most gassed, the most gassed thing ever in like any manga villain reveal. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And what his power is, oh my God!
Listen,
but
people are broken in this whole season.
Bruv,
people are actually broken.
The amount of OP people.
There's so many fights that are sick. Oh my God!
Like in this first little skirmish, Lewis. Yeah,
mate,
it's about to go.
Byakuya's back as well. Byakuya's back.
Yeah. And Byakuya, man, that guy. Anyway, let's not spoil it too. Let's not spoil it too much. But Lewis, gonna give your score then. What you thought of the episode?
I'll give it a 9.
Yeah, go on. Why?
Just because it's. I'm glad it's back, and just the ending when you're seeing them ready to just F everybody up. And obviously I wanted it to get straight to the point, so I'm looking forward to that next episode.
He wants it to get. He wants it to like go
He
off,
wants
off.
he wants them to just beef. He saw an intro. And he's like, "Nah, we need it. I need it
He wants
now."
it to
I need
go
it now.
off,
I need
off.
to score a 10 out of 10 next episode.
I hear you.
Boy, it's gonna be 10 out of 10 next episode anyway. That's all I'm gonna say.
I hear you. Me, I give it a 9, maybe even 9.5. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Maybe I'm absolutely biased. Like Bleach is like one of my favorite anime of all time. So give it a 9.5.
I'll give it an 8 only because I know look at Phil's face. He was like, what? Only because I think some of the storytelling was a little bit being a manga purist. And
No, I hear it. I hear it. It was a bit
disjointed.
disjointed. It was.
And
a
I
bit
feel
disjointed.
like if you are anime only, then it's not too bad in it. But if you read the manga and watch it back, some of the kind of like reveals, I feel like for me were kind of like,
yeah, they spoiled them. They spoiled them
a little bit. You know what I mean?
Like that. That's why I brought up the Uryu thing. The shadow that we were talking about earlier. They kind of spoiled that for people as well.
You know what's interesting actually?
And then wait. The end of the episode, right, where they have like a little bit after the ending credits thing, right? I've tried to say this in the most coded way possible, right? But I swear that is like the frozen lady that can't move.
Which one?
Like at the end, there's like a still shot like of like a person in like a little box, right? I swear that's like the frozen lady that can't move or she'll like break.
But who's that again?
I can't even say it because it will mess up the thing for Lewis, bro.
You know,
It'll mess up the thing for Lewis. Go back and look. Go back and look. There's like a little ending thing at the end, like proper at the end, right?
There's a big spoiler.
And I think it's a spoiler of someone.
Oh, for things.
Yeah, it's mad.
Right, yeah. But that's way later on, isn't it?
That's way later on.
I don't think. No. I know you're talking about. No. Frozen Lady can't move because that's something. Yeah. I don't think that's. I didn't watch that part, but I'm gonna watch it. But I don't think they can't have revealed that like now.
They did, bro. They did. I'm telling you, they did. I swear they did. I swear they
couldn't have. Well. Stop revealing stuff.
I'm not revealing it. They showed it out there.
Not you. The anime needs to stop revealing stuff. Let the anime fans eat like when we ate back in like 2008 or whatever it was. Yeah. You know, I want Lewis to enjoy it the way we enjoyed it because, you know, it's a fantastic. It's probably one of the best like final arcs I've ever read. You know what I mean?
Ever.
So we just want you to enjoy it. It is how it's been intended to be enjoyed. You know what I mean? So. And not too many reveals because it just goes. It's not even at 0. It just goes from 100 to 1,000,000. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But yeah, no. Thanks for tuning in, guys. You know, for this new season of anime, which we're looking forward to. Well, this is going to be an insane season of anime for us. Let's hope that obviously Jujutsu Kaisen feels impressed next week with Jujutsu Kaisen animation. And let's pray there's not too many, you know, spoilers in Bleach. If there are spoilers in Bleach, you know what? I'm not even gonna talk about them. I'm just gonna be like, whatever. Just
you are 100% going to talk about it.
Exactly. We know you too well.
100%. I think we're going to start with Lewis's analysis first, and then we'll go afterwards. Lewis needs to start with his analysis, and then
he might need to take the lead on the Bleach topics.
Because
all I need to do is say Bleach, and it sets you both off. So
you don't understand. You know what? We're gonna do. I'm gonna try and put a clip of before and after of you after you watched it to see your reaction because I don't know. I don't think you know what you're in for, bro.
Well, it's so. I'm gonna ask you this, right, Lewis? From the bits of the original content that you've seen, do you have a favorite character or like captain?
Favorite captain. I don't like having favorites. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's a bit of a shit answer, but that is or
anyone that like stands out to you, like, okay, yeah, I enjoy this character's powers, or like this guy when they fight, or this person when they fight, it looks sick.
I like what's his name? Shit, I'm just looking at their faces now to remind me.
What does it look like?
It's got the hat.
The hat with the pink thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
All right.
the wicker hat kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what?
And the beast guy, the guy with the eye patch.
Kenpachi.
He has a little
Kenpachi.
girl with him sometimes. You know
Yeah.
Okay.
him?
Kenpachi.
Yeah.
Kenpachi. Well,
Um,
you're in for a treat, mate. Let's put it that way. You're in for a
no,
treat either
you're
way.
definitely in for a treat, man. And you know what's interesting, because you haven't watched or read some of the older stuff. Some of the stuff when you see it happen in this arc, I think will definitely make you go back. Like even if like me and Phil saying go back, I think you see some stuff you're like, no, I need to actually.
Yeah.
Um,
Because there's
and
so much like this, there's so much backstory that you're missing, and then they
mm,
reveal stuff, and you're like, "Yo, crap! I didn't know this how this character even got to here." Like even in the first, in in the first part of Thousand Year Blood War, when Ohana had to fight Kenpachi, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
a madness, really and
yeah.
truly.
No.
So,
And
but
and the
anyway,
thing is, obviously, you know about her past.
mm,
Well, in the past, seeing how like she's a pacifist and well, supposedly, then you find
yeah,
out that when we found out she's the first Kenpachi, I was like,
yeah, it's
nah.
mad.
And what I was gonna say, the one thing about Bleach that I think it does better than a lot of other like shonen anime or manga, yeah, is that there's a lot of characters in it, but all these characters get their screen time.
Hmm.
A lot of them get well, and it's not even just like there's no characters been like Yamcha or Tien or like everyone in Shippuden. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Everybody has screen time, and everyone's screen time is epic, man. I
There's two characters I can think of that kind of got hold, right? There's the captain that has like that needle power where the assassin, can't remember her name, she pokes you twice and you die, like the
Oh, so
butterfly
far.
thing. Soifon, that's it.
Oh, but
Soifon,
she has
they
two.
kind what?
What? You think they done it dirty?
I feel like they kind of low key done her dirty a little bit, and they
No, she already
and
had a big arc. She already had a big arc. She had a massive and she's
maybe.
already had like she had a big fight every arc though. And
Okay, yeah, I can see
the
it.
fact that even like her banker getting stolen as one of the, getting her, she has a lot. She does a lot in this arc, man. I don't know. I think because we've seen her season one and part one and two, maybe think I think she gets a lot in this arc. Maybe in the latter stages, I get what you're saying. In the latter
Hmm.
stages, she might be a bit done dirty, but bro,
Yeah,
she's had 4 or 5 massive fights, man, and that's not even
and
fair.
Rahime and Chad, they got done out here.
Oh, all right, Chad. Now he gets done dirty. Now I agree. I, what's so funny? Yeah, I'm not. And this is. I don't want to spoil it for Lewis, but there's one scene in Anuranka arc where you're like, Chad comes. Chad's like, yeah, I'm the.
He's on bits.
He's on
He's
bits, and it's
on
like.
bits.
Then in one chapter,
Oh.
that whole thing gets flipped on his head, and it's like, bro, you were never on anything, bro. And I'm just like, oh, that's out of order, man. You were never on there. You were on it for 3 chapters or whatever, and then but when it came to it, when the man who came in about about that life, you weren't on it. So
He was not there,
anyway,
bro.
and
He was
you know
not
what?
there.
The one episode here, I'm gonna ask you, Phil, when we get to this episode about
Mm,
Chad, like later on, because
mm.
it's probably one of the biggest insults to
His character.
background characters because I feel like they invented villains just to give Chad some screen time. But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna,
yeah. No, that's the truth. We know this. We
you know
know
what I'm talking
this.
about it.
I know. We know this.
Yeah. All right. I think on that note, guys, before we go on to like Lewis is looking,
Yeah, he's looking
not
so lost right now. He's like, yo, these
yeah.
man is there chatting. I can't even get in the conversation right now.
On that note, so we don't spoil any more for Lewis or by accident. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're so happy Bleach is back. Obviously, you can tell by mine Phil's reaction. Jujutsu Kaisen's back as well. Been a long wait. Let's hope that this summer season anime lives up to be what we've been expecting for like since it got announced, like in January.
Yeah.
These are all coming out, and yeah, let's hope they live up to what we're hoping for. And Bleach, I just let's hope they keep the top tier up, like part one. You know what I mean? And Jujutsu Kaisen. Let's hope that animation's good and they don't do too much improvisation. I just feel like some of the ad libbing scenes are a bit, But we don't need people doing layups and like 3 pointers. You know what I mean?
And
All right,
also,
mate.
is there any summer anime that we should be watching? as well.
Oh
I
yeah.
would recommend Bucket List of the Dead, Zone 100. That is very, very. It's different to what I thought it was going to be because I actually didn't read the manga for that, and I watched episode 1 to see what it's like. So good, man. And Ronin Kenshin Part 2, actually. Ronin Kenshin's been a while since. It's been like what, a million years since the first anime came out,
I
and
didn't
now
even know
there's
about it.
yeah. So now there's a new series for that. So those are other two big ones to look out for, in my opinion.
Okay.
Sailor Moon, I think, has got a
You swear
film.
down, you're gonna watch that, yeah?
I don't actually mind Sailor Moon too much, I'll be honest. I don't mind it. It's actually it's not too bad. And
Okay.
just because we're might as well. It probably won't get released for a while, but Tokyo Avengers live action movie part 2
Mm.
has come out. So that'll be in when that comes out on Blu-ray or whatever. It'll be interesting to pick that up and see how good. I don't think the first one adapted it well at all, but whatever.
We'll see.
There's a lot of stuff going on this summer. You know what I mean? Basically, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Baki's coming out as well.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
That's
and also Record of Ragnarok.
He's out as well.
Buddha's
I think
Fight.
episode 1 came out.
Yeah. But it's only 3 episodes though. I finished it.
Oh, swear.
No, it's 5. It's 5. It's not even that
Actually,
long.
wait, let me keep looking.
Yeah, they've just done the Buddha fight with Zero.
Buddha fight is good.
Yeah.
That Buddha fight is really good.
Um,
I'm like,
is any-
I've been read the manga and I caught up. I thought it's actually better than I expected. Anyway,
that
we're
manga
chatting bears.
Yeah. But
anyway,
anything you're looking
fine.
forward to, you guys? Looking forward to?
Aside from Bungo Stray Dogs, what? No, that's it.
What were you, Lewis?
Catching up with Bleach.
Good. Yes. Great.
Do it, man. And on that note, guys, thank you. Farewell.
That's the 3rd time we've said bye.
I know, but this
Bye.
podcast has been a lot of fun and we had a great chat. But yes, no, for real. Guys, see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you later.
Peace.
Jeez. Thank you for checking out our podcast. If you want to see some more, check out the videos on the left and right. And in the meantime, if you could subscribe, like, and even leave a comment,